All right, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for popping on to watch this video. This is one of a multiple part series. I don't know how many there will be, but probably at least 2 or 3 for brows. I want to break it down into different products you can use on your brows, different levels of difficulty, or for how intense of a brow you want. A really bold brow or more natural, how sculpted or not, things like that. So to begin, I'm going to introduce a couple products that I think are really helpful to have, or necessary in this case, to do brows, and then we'll jump right into it. This first video is going to be super simple, just a real quick, should take you maybe like 10-20 seconds tops. Just a quick on the go if you want to touch up your brows a little bit, have them look a little more present. But no fancy work, no super detailed skills needed, anything like that. Just a real quick and easy one. So without further ado, a tool that I think everybody needs to have is a good spoolie, a brow spoolie. You can see that here. A spoolie, this one is Mary Kay's, it's double-ended, so this side is actually an angled eyeliner brush. But we're not going to use that brush today, just this spoolie, and it's like a twisty mascara wand. But this is super helpful for combing your brows. It works a lot better than a hair comb if you've ever tried that. I have. This is great to just shape your brows, get your brow hairs in place. It's not necessary, and toothbrush works great too if you've got one of those, but I think spoolie is a really handy dandy tool. I didn't used to use one until this year, and I've kind of been converted. I didn't think I needed one, and now I use it almost every day. So love this spoolie, and it is helpful when you're doing your brows. Next product for the simple look that we're going to do today is just a brow pencil. I have Mary Kay's Precision Brow Liner in dark blonde because I'm blonde. I don't need a whole lot of color for my brows to show up. And that's actually a good point. When you do your brows, pick a color that's a little bit lighter than you think you should be wearing. You'd be surprised at what colors actually look natural and normal. Most cases, you do not need a color as dark as what you would expect. So go with the err on the side of caution and lightness for your brows. You can always build more product or move to a darker shade, but you don't want an overdone brow that can look really tacky. So, like I said, I've got my Precision Brow Liner here. It is a twist up. I love that about these. They're so easy to use. So I just have it so there's just a little bit of a nib showing. And what we're gonna do, if you have a spoolie or a comb, start with that. If you don't, you can skip this step. What you want to do if you do have one is just give your brows a quick comb upwards, like upwards and outwards. This kind of helps get your brows in place. So you notice my brow went from disheveled to nicely aligned. So I'll do it again on this side over here. See if I can get a little closer. Just a little upwards and outwards strokes. You can ignore the fact that my brush is a little bit dirty. It got tangled up with some cotton pads and now it's all fuzzy. So once you've got your brow hairs in place, then you take your brow liner. This works too if you have a brow dip or powder. It's kind of the same process no matter what your product is. And you're just going to come in and do some light feathery strokes. I kind of start right about the inner corner of my eye. You probably have already noticed I don't actually sculpt my brows that much. They're a little bit unruly according to some. But I have thin brows. So we're going to come in and really light-handed little light brush strokes, upwards and outwards, just like we do the spoolie. And this is just a quick fill. We're just adding some color, mostly to the center of our brows, just giving them a little pick-me-up, quick touch. And yeah, and that's it really. How much you put on is up to you. And then I go back to the spoolie and I make sure that everything's just kind of nice and blended out. So pretty quick and easy. I can tell I do have a bit of a gap right here, so I'm going to go back in there. I have a couple hairless areas of my brow from where I had surgery as a kid. Got some stitches in my eyebrow and now I don't have brow hair there, so I get some gaps that show up, but that's the gist of it. It's very simple. So other eye, we already did this spoolie, so let me just come in here real quick. Lightweight, light hand, feathery brush strokes, upwards, outwards, just following along your natural brow curve and just kind of pressing in there. You don't have to press real hard. The harder you do press, of course, the more product it will deposit both onto your hairs and your skin. But yeah, whatever feels good and looks good to you. Just keep your strokes light and short. We don't want to do like big, like scrubbing on with a crayon. That can look really intense if you mess up and harder to fix. And then I just come back in here and blur it out. One thing I do check for is to make sure that I have started in the right or same spot on both eyes. Brows are sisters, not twins. So don't stress if you don't have identically matching brows. Most people don't. And it's okay if they end up not looking exactly the same to each other. As long as relative proportions are the same, like color-wise, stuff like that. So to me, that looks pretty good. So that is my super fast method for just a quick fill. You can tell now my brows are a little more defined. You can see them a little better on the video, but I didn't do any kind of like outlining or shaping or anything like that. We just combed the hairs, added in a bit of brow pencil to fill it out. And that is Brows 101, the super fast fix.